Hey guys, this is Zorboid Orbb and this is my first commentary. So since this is my first video commentary, I'd like to thank my subscribers first. So a big thanks to all my subscribers and my viewers who watch my videos and comment on them, because I'm not lying when I say this. You guys are one of the main source of motivation for me. Because if not for you guys, I probably wouldn't have made as many videos. So a huge thanks once again, and I dedicate my first commentary to you all. So since this is my first commentary, I probably should have introduced myself a little bit, but I'm not going to do that in this video. Instead, I'm gonna make another one in which I'm gonna talk about myself, how I got into this community and things of that sort. I might even do a little Q&A, so in case you had any questions for me, just leave them in the comments and I'll take it up from there. So this commentary is not going to be about me explaining things happening in this game. Rather, it's going to be about some tips and tricks, if you want to call it. Basically, I've been playing this game mode ever since beta was released on PS3, and I've played this game a lot, and Deathmatch has been the mode that I've played the most. So my game style in this game mode has changed over the past months, and I have noticed some things and made some observations and adapted my playstyle to suit that. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about those stuff. So if anyone were to come and ask me for some tips and tricks, this is what I would tell them. So before I start talking about that, let me talk a bit about my profile set and why I use them. I go with smoke and poison mainly because I'm an offensive player. I'm not too aggressive, but I'm fairly aggressive, so I don't need two defense abilities to kind of defend myself. First off, I don't mind dying a lot. I in fact die a lot in this game mode, and second of all, I like the points that you get off of poison. And thirdly, most often, at least in deathmatch, you will find situations wherein you have your target and your pursuer close by. So if in case you use a poison, you could catch them off, catch both of them off in a single smoke bomb. You could poison one and stun the other two or other one, so it kind of helps you out. So that's the reason why I go with smoke and poison. So for my loss streak and kill streaks, I use a score ×2 for my loss streak, and I use 3 silent kill streak, because as I said, I expect to die a lot in this game, and having 5 silent kills would kind of be meaningless unless I use a kill buffer and I use 2 defense sets, but I'm gonna come back to that later. But for me, since I die a lot, 3 silent kill works out just as great. And loss streak score ×2, well, I honestly don't like any other loss streaks, and score ×2 kind of gives you a chance to catch up if you're doing bad in the game. Some might say that it gives you an unfair advantage. To some extent I agree, but that doesn't reflect on how well or how good you can play a game. Say for instance, in this game, we have 7 prestige players at the beginning, but throughout the game at least 5 other prestige players remain in this game. So with this lobby, I get around 12k. So and I don't use my loss streak even once, so it really doesn't matter. But in case you're doing bad, it gives you a chance to catch up. I mean, that's the whole deal about it. It's called loss streak for a reason. I mean, if you see it this way, every loss streak is kind of unfair. It gives the user an unfair advantage. So I would rather go with loss streak which gives me more points than go with say reset cooldowns, in which you try to use your abilities and get stuns and whatnot. So yeah, let's talk about deathmatch now. For those of you who don't know what deathmatch is, it's similar to Wanted on ACB or ACR, but you don't have the standard compass which would point you to your target. Instead, you have this detection meter on your top right corner, which has 2 regions, the outer ring and the inner shaded part. The outer ring glows when your target is in the line of sight, the inner shaded region glows when your target is close by. So using these two as your detection meters, you have to find a way to your target. So except for that, there's no much difference. Oh wait, now the map for Deathmatch is probably a quarter the size of a regular map. So what that means is the chance of you running into your pursuer is more than it is wanted. So what that means is you can't play this game mode just the way you play Wanted. So you have to adapt a little bit, but that's no big deal. Wait, I just remembered I'd never talked about my blender and resistance. So I use blender and resistance for obvious reasons, because you don't want to stay stunned on your knees. On your knees. Yeah, you don't want to stay stunned for a long time, because since it's a small map, the chances of you running into your pursuers is quite a lot. So you just want to be up on your feet as quick as you can. So resistance is kind of obvious. But blender, some people might have reservations against blender. I mean, they would say that it gives you away, and yeah, I agree that it gives you away. Any good player can figure out who you are when you walk into a blend group, or walk into a stationary blend group, or a moving blend group. But it all depends on how you use blender too. I mean, if you use blender in a stationary group just before you kill your target, it's obviously going to give you away. But the reason why I use blender is to pull off surprises and try to naked stun my pursuers. So if you can get your pursuer to hesitate in killing you even for a fraction of a second, that's all you need most of the times to kind of rush at him, surprise him, and pull off a naked stun. Okay, for pointers, first thing is that don't actively try to pursue your targets. Instead, just make sure that you know who the players are, where they are. And why I say this is this: say you're in first place, you have a target, and you have two, or most of the times, as is the case, if you're in first place, you'll have 3 pursuers after you. So that makes 5 of the players in this lobby, and in a full lobby 3 others. So totally there could be 3 contracts that's active at any given point of time, at most 4, or if it's a smaller lobby, it's 2 or maybe even 1 sometimes. So in case you spot your target chasing after someone, that person is probably going to be your pursuer. So I mean, for you now it might not make sense. I mean, you could ask me, why do you need to do that? Why not just stun people and kill points just the normal way? I mean, it's not needed, but I kind of tend to stalk my players, try to get quick kills. So if I spot an NPC and if I'm waiting for a target, or if I just spawn in and I notice someone, I try to spam my kill and stun buttons. So as you play this game, you will be able to kind of accurately predict whether the person is going to be your target or your pursuer. So that's all there is to it. But for now, you just keep an eye out on all the players in this game, and anyone who's not your target is your pursuer. So if you go by that assumption, it's going to be much simple. So yeah, the contract system in this game is kind of funny, at least for Deathmatch, because they seem to have kept the same thing as it is in Wanted, but with a smaller map it doesn't just make any sense. But yeah, that's my opinion anyways, nothing much to it. I also wanted to talk about the spawn points in a map. So it's kind of helps you a long way if you know the spawn points, because say for example you see someone die, and if you were and if your pursuers increased by 1, it could be that the person who just sorry about the text. So anyways, the person who just died could be after you. So if you know the spawn points, it could be easy for you to keep an eye out for them. So it does help you a lot. This was just one example, and the more spawn points you know, the more control you have over the map. So it's definitely a good to have. Well, I think we are reaching the end of this commentary. I had so many other things to talk about, but I just don't have enough time. My next video is gonna be a commentary in which I talk about myself, introduce myself a little bit, and do the Q&A. So just as a reminder, just leave your questions for me in the comments below and I'll take it up in my next video. So until then, see you guys. Have a great day.